do you deny the one faculty of man that raises him above the other creatures of the earth? The power of his brain to reason.
I do not think about things I do not think about.
Do you ever think about things that you do think about?
What happened in 1987 is a Supreme Court decision known as Edwards versus Aguillard that identified creationism as a religious doctrine.
Blasphemer!
Literally within a month of that decision, the drafts changed from creation and creationism
Blasphemy! He said it again!
to intelligent design and designer.
I object. On what grounds?
This was simply relabeling the old product with new packaging.
The theory of evolution is now being challenged by a new theory that says the universe looks designed because it was designed.
There does not appear to be any way that unguided random mutations can accomplish what needs to be accomplished.
That's impossible.
That's impossible.
That's impossible!
We live in such a fine-tuned universe.
That seems to suggest...
It would seem to suggest...
the universe is put together by a mathematical mind.
A fine-tuner.
Now to the state of Pennsylvania and the closely watched case of a local school board's efforts to teach something called intelligent design
along with evolution in science class. Science class, or as it's known in Dover, the Crazy Claim Magic Fun Hour.
We just want to be accorded the same respect, to have the arguments and the evidence evaluated on the basis of that, not with motive mongering.
Teach the controversy.
I doubt if Wendy Wright would teach the controversy about the Earth being flat.
Surely there'd be at least one
There's a massive amount of evidence.
You don't have to teach both sides of a debate if one side is a load of crap.
I'm allowed to say anything I want, and Bill Maher has nothing to say about it, and Christopher Hitchens, an obviously brilliant man, has nothing to say about it.
They tell the pollsters they believe in Satan more than they believe in Darwin's theory of evolution, but when they go to the hospital, they act as if they think Darwin is probably more likely to be right.
Do you think, though, that people who believe in creationism are being persecuted in America?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we have lots and lots of evidence of it.
You can go to a creation museum outside Cincinnati, including humans frolicking with dinosaurs. And this is really quite startling.
In his sharply worded opinion, Federal Judge John Jones said intelligent design is a religious view, not a scientific theory.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
Jones, a Republican appointed by President Bush, ruled that offering intelligent design in biology class violates the constitutional separation of church and state.
The case is not about the need to separate church and state. It's about the need to separate scientifically illiterate people from the ranks of teachers.
Creationism.
Do you believe in evolution? Is there anybody on the stage that does not believe in evolution?
I should have known earlier about President Bush when I heard him say, when it comes to evolution, the jury's still out. What jury, where?
Well, I think you can have both. I think that God created the earth, created the world. I think that the creation of the world is so mysterious it requires something as large as an Almighty. And I don't think it's incompatible with, the scientific proof that there's evolution.
I believe in creative design. I believe in evolution, but I think it was overseen by a higher power. A person either believes that God created this process or believes that it was an accident.
I beg your pardon, did you say by accident?
Yeah.
What do you mean by accident?
That the eye just formed itself somehow.
And who says it did?
Well, some evolutionists say it.
Not a single one that I've ever met.
Really?
Really.
There's no great mystery to life, just evolution, and God's a spaghetti monster. Thank you, Richard. You're so welcome.
Richard Dawkins, who is a very strong Darwinian biologist, nonetheless says that biology is the study of complicated things that give the appearance of having been designed for a purpose.
But I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything.
Darwin's great insight was that life evolved steadily and slowly.
There could still be a God.
Really?
Couldn't evolution be the answer to how and not the answer to why?
Why are we here? And how did we get here?
Darwin moved us forward to a hilltop
from where we can look back and see the way from which we came.
So you saying we ain't come down from monkeys?
No, monkeys are still having babies. Why don't they have another human today?
Well, he was a former teen idol, Kirk Cameron. Now he's on a crusade to debunk evolution.
An entire generation is being brainwashed by atheistic evolution.
Creationists, thwarted by court rulings that creationism cannot be taught in most schools, have come up with this new tactic. They're using Charles Darwin's classic with additions,
alleging, among other things, Adolf Hitler's undeniable connection to evolutionary theory.
From Darwin to Hitler.
Hitler and Darwin.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
What have you understood that Darwin taught?
Darwin identified the force driving those variations as natural selection. Classic example, the giraffe. Given the height of the trees in the African savanna, guess which of these giraffe mutations is best suited to survive? The answer, of course, C, although D would have been awesome.
Well, Darwin was a very bitter man who went into the ministry, fell away, never knew the Lord, and lost his daughter at the age of 12, and then denied his faith, and then came up with this fairy tale for grown-ups.
Fairy tales, like we came from Adam and Eve, and then cover stories for Adam and Eve, like Intelligent Design.
I've not come across a single book in my life which says fact of evolution. What Darwin said was only a theory.
Checkmate.
I don't have any proof.
You can't handle the truth.
We don't need to be intimidated by atheists. They're not intelligent. The Bible says they're fools.
It says so right there on page 1 of the book God himself says he wrote. Checkmate. Sorry, atheists.
The question is this: is man an ape or an angel? I, my Lord, am on the side of the angels.
But you know, if anybody wants to believe that they are the descendants of a primate, they are certainly welcome to do it.
Daddy, was Mommy a monkey? I can't remember.
No one was ever a monkey.
The whole society is falling apart because everyone believes that they came from monkeys, which came from earthworms, which came from slime.
Evolution?
Charles Darwin hit upon a truly brilliant idea that elegantly explains all of life on Earth without any need to invoke the supernatural or the divine.
Of course, I'm obligated by the state of Kansas to present the church's alternative to the theory of evolution.
It's a wanton distortion of our position.
Perhaps we can all stop arguing so much about how life began and focus now, all of us, on how we're going to die.